rookie quarterback Will Grier for the Carolina Panthers started his very first football game in the NFL on Sunday. And the result was bad. I mean, it just honestly, I want to be gentle here because he's a rookie quarterback. I definitely saw things we need to talk about, and a lot of them are bad, from Will Grier on Sunday in his first start. But it is important to also say he's a rookie quarterback. He's a rookie quarterback. It's his first ever start. Dwayne Haskins looked really bad in his first ever game action in the NFL. I think it was against the Giants earlier this year. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. And the progression that Dwayne Haskins has made from his first action in the NFL to now is a gigantic leap forward. So maybe it's possible we'll see a leap forward like that from Will Grier, although you'll hear why I'm a lot more skeptical about Will Grier than I am about other quarterbacks I've talked about earlier this year. This was his first ever NFL start, but if I had to pick a word to describe, if I had to pick one word to describe Will Grier, the rookie quarterback's performance on Sunday, I would say the word is unimpressive, and that stinks. The Panthers lost 38-6. That's not all his fault. It's a team game. A quarterback can't control the defense. A quarterback cannot control the fact that I cannot believe the Colts returned not one, but 2 punts for touchdowns. So to have 2 punt return touchdowns in one game, that's really just a lack of. That's a bad look for the Panthers organization. But there are 3 really, really important things we need to discuss in relation to the future of Will Grier and what I saw on Sunday against the Colts. Number one is that, unfortunately, all of my concerns I talked about in the Will Grier film analysis from earlier this year. Around the time of the NFL draft, I made a video with his film from West Virginia. And a lot of those issues he had in college are still very much there in the NFL. We saw them on display on Sunday. The biggest problem with Will Grier, honestly, is that he just has an average arm. And that makes people mad. They're like, well, his miles per hour velocity, none of that matters. Watch the tape. He doesn't drive the ball downfield very well. And at least on Sunday, his accuracy was all over the place. Will Grier was not a highly accurate, efficient quarterback that he needed to be when he was throwing the ball downfield. And in college, Will Grier was not overly precise throwing deep balls. The way Will Grier succeeded, and he succeeded a lot throwing deep balls in college, was he relied on his receivers to make impressive catches. He threw up what we call a 50-50 ball, where there's a 50% chance the receiver gets it and a 50% chance that the defender makes the play. And that doesn't work. A 50-50 ball as your main plan and your main source of getting passes vertically, that doesn't work long-term in the NFL. It's just not a successful strategy and a successful approach to playing quarterback and throwing the ball vertically. So I'm really concerned because it continued again on Sunday. Will Grier had 3 interceptions. 2 of them were on deep balls where he just was not accurate enough. He either underthrew deep balls, or he missed high, or he missed to the left, or he missed to the right. He wasn't overly precise. It's clear that what he did at West Virginia, he'd catch the ball, and it's not clear from the film. It's not clear from Sunday. It's clear when you watch the film what he does. He would catch the ball. My receiver's going deep down the left sideline. I'm going to throw the ball up in that area. My guy's going to make the play. That lack of precision doesn't work in the NFL. He completed a lot of deep balls in college, but it's not the same approach you need to have in the NFL because he relied on his receivers a ton in college. I know I'm repeating the same thing. Now, the idea that Will Grier has this incredible deep ball is a myth. It's just not true. You can quote stats all you want. This is an example of where stats are misleading. Will Grier's deep ball and his accuracy vertically isn't what it needs to be to work in the NFL, at least with what I saw in college and now what I've seen in one game on Sunday against the Colts. Even though I do acknowledge, this is what people are going to say. They're like, well, Zach, remember that one deep ball he threw that one time against Texas to win the game? Yeah, Will Grier, if I had to pick probably the best deep ball of the year in college last year in 2018, it was the deep ball that Will Grier threw vertically into the back of the end zone against the Texas Longhorns. It was an incredible throw. But having one incredible throw on your resume doesn't mean that you consistently have a great deep ball. And Will Grier, I'm sorry to say this, and you can get mad at me if you want, Will Grier does not have a great deep ball. He's also really bad when he's extending plays. The other interception, his third, and I guess it was the first of the day, but that third interception we haven't talked about yet, was a play where he was scrambling around and trying to extend the play and threw the ball downfield into coverage And when you force a throw into coverage, the way Will Grier regularly does when he's scrambling, he throws a pick. And Will Grier is at his worst. His worst moments playing quarterback come when he's scrambling around and trying to throw the ball downfield and not just throwing the ball away or taking the defense gives him and running or whatever. There were a couple plays. He's better in the NFL than I saw in college, where he did run a couple times. He did throw the ball away a couple times. But that one interception just brought me right back to West Virginia, where multiple times he would run around, extend a play, force the ball downfield, and throw a bad, ugly interception into coverage. It's not great. I am not encouraged about Will Grier at all from where I sit. Now, I got to say, not everything was Will Grier's fault. You know, he was also, first of all, he's missing his best receiver. DJ Moore got a concussion early on in the game. DJ Moore would have been a really helpful target to have for throwing those deep balls, because guess what? He can win those one-on-one matchups that Will Grier so desperately needed. And Will Grier was sacked 5 times. The Panthers' offensive line struggled. They missed some assignments. But on the day, Will Grier was 27 for 44 passing, 27 completions, 44 attempts. He had 224 yards passing, no touchdowns. Those 3 interceptions were there. And the reality is, the sad reality, is that the majority of Will Grier's completions came on checkdowns to the Panthers' running back, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey had 15 catches for 119 yards. So many checkdowns, so many little dink-dunk throws underneath. And for context, the second leading receiver for the Carolina Panthers had 3 catches. Christian McCaffrey had 12 catches more than the next guy on the roster. He's just getting check down after check down after check down. Will Grier's not really doing a great job throwing the ball downfield successfully. He had one good throw to Greg Olsen down the middle of the field that Greg Olsen actually ironically dropped, so it was kind of a waste of a good, accurate throw. But overall, again, that word I want to talk about with Will Grier was not impressive. And I don't like saying that. He seems like a good guy. I follow him on social media. He's awesome. His family's cool. His dad's a great, legendary coach. And I want to credit him. Will Grier showed discipline a couple times where he was scrambling and just threw the ball away instead of forcing it. That's progression. That's a little bit better. But the biggest issue with Will Grier moving forward is his physical limitations. He just doesn't have a great, outstanding NFL arm. You know, he's going to play on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. And I have an open mind. I hope he's great. I hope he's phenomenal. I hope everything I said, he just flips the script and plays better this week. I'm rooting for Will Grier. I have nothing against him. But the sad, harsh reality is that when it comes to arm talent, Will Grier is far more like a backup in the NFL than a franchise quarterback. And time will tell. But still, currently, I am really, really low on Will Grier. It's not hard to spot physical talent and physical ability. I watched the very first game that Drew Lock played in the NFL, and I went, oh, wow, that guy has the arm. That's exactly what you need. You can just tell. Watch the film. And look, forget the stats. I know that Drew Lock's first start for the Denver Broncos, he was really statistically impressive, but forget the stats. Watch the way the ball comes out of his hand. Watch, he had a deep ball down the left sideline where highly accurate into a really small window. Will Grier isn't capable of making that throw that Drew Lock makes so easily. It's just clear Will Grier's arm did not impress me, and he's got the arm of a backup quarterback, if that, and he just was completely unimpressive in his first NFL start. He's not overly accurate. He doesn't drive the ball well downfield. I don't feel good about Will Grier at all moving forward. I hope I'm wrong. I do. Time will tell. Maybe I'm the idiot here. What I see is not a franchise quarterback from Will Grier. I think, sadly, Carolina Panthers fans know that. Some will defend it. No matter what I say, people get mad at me. But it's only off one game, and it's not fair to judge a quarterback off one game. Again, I'll give it time. I'm going to be patient, give it room to breathe. But from where I sit today, my prediction is Will Grier is not going to be a franchise quarterback, and it's not going to work if you try to build around him in the NFL.